It was 28 degrees in Denver on a Wednesday morning in November. I know the exact temperature because I checked my phone 3 times while standing in my driveway, breath visible in the cold air, pressing the start button on my bike and hearing absolutely nothing. Not a slow crank, not a struggling engine trying its best, nothing. A click. Silence. I had somewhere to be. I was already running late, and my motorcycle, my daily rider, the machine I'd trusted for 3 years without a single complaint, had simply decided this was the morning it was done. I ended up borrowing my neighbor's truck, missed the first half of what I was supposed to be at, spent the rest of that day quietly furious at myself, because deep down I already knew this wasn't bad luck. This wasn't a defective battery. This wasn't some random failure with no warning. This was neglect, pure and simple. The battery that died on me was 3.5 years old. I had never once done anything proactive for it. I just expected it to work every morning, in every temperature, after every long period of sitting unused. I treated it like a light switch until the morning it wasn't. The replacement battery cost me $94. The battery tender I bought 2 days later, the device that would have prevented the whole situation, cost me $29. I sat in my garage that Saturday, installing a $29 device that would have saved me $94 and a Wednesday morning I'd like to forget, thinking about how many other riders were doing exactly what I'd been doing. Probably most of them. Here's what you need to understand about motorcycle batteries before we get into the fix. Most riders neglect their batteries because they fundamentally misunderstand what kills them. They think batteries just wear out, a consumable with a fixed lifespan regardless of what you do. That's not how it works. Motorcycle batteries don't die from use. They die from 2 things almost exclusively: parasitic drain and sulfation. Both are completely preventable. Understanding them changes how you think about battery maintenance permanently. Parasitic drain is exactly what it sounds like. Your motorcycle, even when parked and switched off, isn't completely electrically dead. The clock runs, the ECU maintains memory, the alarm stays active. These systems draw tiny amounts of current continuously, milliamps, fractions of what the starter pulls when you fire the engine. Individually, none of these draws matters. Collectively, across days and weeks of sitting, they accumulate. A healthy battery can typically sit 3 to 4 weeks before parasitic drain meaningfully impacts starting reliability. In cold weather, critical for anyone riding in the northern half of the United States, that window shrinks dramatically. Cold temperatures reduce a battery's available cranking amps by 30 to 40%. A battery that starts your bike effortlessly in July might not have enough reserve to overcome parasitic drain combined with cold temperature reduction in January. This is precisely what happened to me in Denver. 2 weeks of sitting, parasitic drain, 28-degree temperatures cutting capacity by 1/3, nothing left to spin the starter. The fix is a battery tender, not a trickle charger. Those are different and can damage modern motorcycle batteries if left connected indefinitely. A battery tender monitors voltage continuously and only delivers charge when it drops below a threshold. When the battery reaches full charge, it stops. It maintains. It never overcharges. Brands like Battery Tender, C-Tech, and Deltran make units for $25 to $45 at any AutoZone, Walmart, or Amazon. Plug it in whenever the bike sits for more than a week. Parasitic drain solved permanently. Sulfation is slower, quieter, and more destructive. Inside your battery, lead plates are suspended in an electrolyte solution. When it discharges, lead sulfate crystals form on those plates. When it recharges, those crystals dissolve back. This cycle is what a battery is designed to do. The problem occurs when a battery sits partially or fully discharged for an extended period. Those crystals don't stay soft and dissolvable. They harden permanently onto the lead plates, blocking the chemical reaction and reducing capacity. Once sulfation hardens, a regular charger cannot reverse it. The battery might still start the bike on a warm morning, but it's operating at 60% capacity, then 50, then 40, until that Wednesday morning when it hits 0. Sulfation is what turns a 2-year-old battery into one that behaves like it's 5 years old. It's what makes riders think they got a defective battery when really they got a perfectly good battery that was never maintained. Prevention is the same battery tender. Keeping the battery at full charge prevents the partial discharge state where sulfation begins. If you already suspect early sulfation, a desulfating tender like the C-Tech reconditioning model, around $50, can break down early crystals and recover meaningful capacity. Now, the once-a-month routine. First, check your battery terminals. Corroded terminals are one of the most overlooked causes of battery problems. That white or bluish-green chalky buildup creates resistance in the electrical connection. Resistance means voltage drop. Voltage drop means your starter gets less than full battery voltage when it needs it most. The fix is a $3 can of terminal cleaner and a wire brush. Disconnect the negative terminal first, always negative first, then the positive. Spray, scrub, reconnect positive first, then negative. 4 minutes. Finish with a thin coat of dielectric grease to prevent future corrosion. Coastal riders, Florida, California, the Carolinas, do this every month without exception. Inland riders, every 2 months is fine. Second, check your battery voltage. A $15 multimeter gives you the most accurate picture of battery health available outside a professional shop. Red probe to positive, black to negative. Read the number. A fully charged, healthy 12-volt motorcycle battery reads 12.6 to 12.8 volts at rest, measured at least an hour after the bike was last ridden. Write it down the first time, track it monthly. 12.4 volts means roughly 75% charge, connect the tender. 12.2 volts means 50%, charge before you ride. 12.0 or below means critically discharged and sulfation may already be occurring. That 2-minute monthly voltage check is your earliest warning system. It tells you what's happening before the battery tells you itself on a cold Wednesday morning when you have somewhere to be. Third, check electrolyte levels if you have a conventional flooded battery. Most modern bikes come with sealed AGM batteries requiring no maintenance, but if you're on an older bike with removable caps on the battery housing, verify the electrolyte level is between the low and high marks. If it's low, top off with distilled water only, never tap water. 3 minutes prevents permanent cell damage. One more thing for a huge percentage of American riders. If you live anywhere that gets real winter, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Colorado, the entire Northeast, and your bike sits 3 to 5 months between November and March, charge the battery fully before storage, connect your battery tender throughout the storage period, and check voltage once a month even while it sits. In spring, do a full voltage check and terminal inspection before the first ride. Riders who do this consistently report the same battery lasting 5, 6, sometimes 7 years. The national average motorcycle battery lifespan is 36 to 48 months because most riders do none of this. Basic maintenance gets you double the life out of a battery that costs $80 to $120 to replace. That math adds up to real money across a riding lifetime for about 15 minutes of attention per month. Here's what the habit actually looks like. Walk up to your bike. 4 minutes on the terminals, 2 minutes on the voltage check, 30 seconds to plug in the tender if needed. 6.5 minutes once a month, and your battery lives its full life without ever stranding you. My Denver Wednesday cost me $94, a borrowed truck, and half a day I didn't get back. Your 6 minutes cost you nothing but 6 minutes. That $29 battery tender has been plugged in every winter for 3 years now. Voltage reads 12.7 every time I check. Starts instantly in temperatures I used to dread. Do this once a month. Your battery will never strand you again. If this just saved you from your own Wednesday morning in the cold, hit that like button and subscribe. Next week, we're covering the complete winterization checklist. See you then.